I was, I was gonna say, I'm like, wait, what? We got a comment. We're not even live yet. That's lit. But yeah, I don't know. What do you want to say? Like, I don't even know how to.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome inside the Fantasy Stock Exchange. We're live before Monday Night Football. I mean, we're kind of just here to just shoot the stuff. I'm not going to say the F word at the beginning of broadcast because I heard that hurts SEO. Anyway, yeah. Any last minute start set questions that you guys have? Any thoughts you had on yesterday's games? If you want to know what happened, you're like, hey, what do you think of Jonathan Taylor now that Marlon Mack is out for the season, or whatever you guys kind of ask me anything style of live stream for you guys today.
For sure. Again, like we also have the waiver show coming up, but if you have any like thoughts on players on waivers, we can give you our thoughts on them, like how big performances, big duds, anything you guys want to talk about. In reality, here we're just chilling, having a good time on the live, right? Broncos are Titans tonight, boys. Hope you did well this weekend. So I'm actually going to go with the Titans tonight. I think they're going to win that match against the Broncos. And actually, two of my matchups, believe it or not, are riding on the Monday Night Football outcome. So in the one league, I'm going to need Saquon Barkley to have a masterful performance. I actually have A.J. Brown as well. And in the other league, I'm actually going to need the Steelers defense to lock up. So we'll see what happens. Keep you guys updated. But yeah, I'm going to go with the Titans tonight. How about you?
To win the game, I'm going to go with the Titans. I think it's not really that close, to be honest. Without Sutton playing, I believe, has he been ruled out officially? I think he has been, yeah. All right, yeah. Without Sutton playing, I just don't think they're going to be able to do much on the Titans defense, the Broncos. So, I mean, I have a lot riding on this game as well. I'm currently up 19 in my big money league. I have Jonnu Smith. I mean, casually, of course, I have Jonnu Smith because I hyped him up all season. I have Jonnu Smith to play, but he has Saquon, Ingram, and the Titans defense, and I'm up 19 currently. So
we need a nice Jonnu 30-point performance. Who says no? I actually have
John. I really hope he does poorly tonight, but unfortunately I think he's going to do well because not the weakness of their defense because Devin Bush is covering it, but like I feel like they're more susceptible to letting up tight end plays than they are with Slayton and Shepard. I guess Kate's out, so.
Yeah, I fully agree there. Again, I hope he doesn't do well because I do play him. I play him in both of my leagues. So in the one league, I am currently down 24 points. He has Ingram. I have A.J. Brown and Saquon Barkley. So that should be like right down to the wire. And in the other league, I have the Steelers defense. He has Melvin Gordon, Evan Ingram, and Deontay Johnson. I'm currently up 35 points. So both barn burners. I'll update you guys in the Discord, but AJ actually says, should I trade MT for CH and Cup? Do you do that in a heartbeat, even if it was just CEH? Even if it was just CEH?
Yeah, I would do it just for CEH. So, yes, I would do that. And Cup, I mean, Cup is going to be – like I actually really didn't pay too much attention to the game last night, so you're going to have to fill me in on how Cup did. I know Woods did pretty well, like in terms of just targets.
I think Cup ended up with I want to say it was 8 full PPR points. I think he went like 4 for 40 or something like that. Cowboys did well on him. I will say, like, people want to dog in the Cowboys corners. They played well last night. It's just ultimately Woods had a really good first quarter against them, which kind of inflated his numbers. But after
that's why I was excited because if you guys watched our recap show, me and Tyler, like when we were recording, was the first quarter was on, and I was like, man, Woods is getting peppered right now. I was super excited.
Yeah.
But Danny, in my school league, I literally have 4 of like the highest scorers on the week. My first round pick was Devonte Adams. My second round pick was Josh Jacobs. My third round pick was Lamar Jackson, and my fourth round pick was Mark Andrews.
Yeah, that's gross.
Like, I'm killing the guy that I'm playing. Like, I'm destroying him.
In the league that I'm up 35, he has those 3 guys, and I had the Steelers defense. I had Russell Wilson put up 32, Christian McCaffrey put up 27, Devontae Adams put up 35 or whatever in a half PPR. So, like, it's ridiculous. Ricky says, oh, no, I didn't read that yet. So Ricky says, thank you. I think so too. And Danny, you got Saquon too. I'm up a point and my opponent has Juju. So if you're up a point with Saquon, I do think you can clutch that out. I mean, we kind of went through it. Juju, regardless.
I really hope Saquon, unfortunately, because I have to play Saquon, I hope he does poorly, but I think he's definitely going to get more than 1 point.
Yeah. 25 says, I'm stacked at running back. I am weak at quarterback, Big Ben and Wentz. If it's a 1 quarterback league, I wouldn't even worry about making an upgrade at quarterback since you have Wentz and Ben. I do think those 2 guys can supplement a good fill in for your roster for the rest of the year. If it's a super flex, maybe you look for an upgrade. But in a 1 quarterback league, I'm fine with.
I'm a little worried about Wentz. like in the Eagles offense, to be honest. Like the way that they're lined, like, and I know that the Washington football team has a great front with Chase Young and Jonathan Allen and Daron Payne and Kerrigan, all those guys. It's a great front, but they look outmatched in that game, like up front. Like their O-line was destroyed.
Next Gen actually rated the pressure rates. This is actually going to surprise you, by the way. So the number one, like, worst offensive line in terms of pressure rate, according to Next Gen stats on NFL.com, the Jets allowed a pressure on 45% of their snaps. Number 2 was the Cowboys. The Cowboys at 40% because Terrence Steele on the right side couldn't block.
I'm pretty sure Aaron Donald had 31% himself.
Yeah. Aaron Donald dominated Connor Williams all game, and the Cowboys continued to single block Aaron Donald on the inside with Connor Williams, kept getting blown right back into Dak Prescott's lap. And number 3, believe it or not, well, I mean, you could believe it, but it was the Redskins at 35% pressure rate against the Eagles. I think PFF actually charted 19 total players in the NFL this week had 4 or more pressures. 5 of them were on the Redskins.
That's wild.
Like, that's insane to think about. Oh, so he also says, AJ also says, I got Eckler, Mixon, and David Johnson. Who should my 2 running backs be? If you're talking about your 2 main running backs, the first 2 are your clear 2.
Yeah, those would be the first 2. If you, I mean, I don't want to say to trade David Johnson because it's not looking good for my takes on him. Like, actually, like, I will admit this, like, he actually did look good. Like, it wasn't just like he actually like looked good. So, yeah, like, I mean, the question is, like, maybe he breaks down after like 3 weeks and like he's running like in mud like he was the last couple of years in Arizona, but he actually did look good. But I still would be trying to consider like moving David Johnson if I can, if someone's willing to give me like someone who maybe underperformed. Like, if you can flip David Johnson for Austin Eckler, I don't think that would ever happen. But and so people overreact to week 1, man. Some like you might be able to pull off something like that.
Oh, I mean, I know people are already taking week 1 victory laps. Like, it's
victory laps are fun. And Tyler's in the chat and he's making inappropriate comments like usual. But definitely appreciate that compliment, if that's a compliment, I guess.
So Nate says, I'm up 60 points and a half PPR, and my opponent has Daniel Jones, Saquon, and James Conner. Do I stand a chance?
James Conner is the one who scares me the most of those guys.
Yeah, and if it's a half PPR, I do think Saquon can get absolutely peppered, especially with Golden Tate out. But 60 points, it should really come down to the wire there. I do think Daniel Jones is going to turn the ball over a fair ton. I don't think he's going to have more than 10, 15 points.
I don't think there's any way Daniel Jones has like a 20-point game or more. Like, I think the way you break that up is is Daniel Jones going to have 15 or more points? I think it's like a 50-50 shot that he does. Is Saquon going to have 25 or more points? I don't think so. I think he's going to have less than that. And then is James Conner going to have 20 points? And again, I think that's about a 50-50 shot as well. So I think I don't think in all of those things they'd have to hit the over on that for you to lose. So I think you're okay. You're okay. Up by 60.
Yeah, Tyler. Fair play. You took me down this week in that one dynasty league. But,
I smoked him in the listener league.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, damn. I took DeAndre Swift in the 3rd round and ended up fucking
dropping the touchdown.
Man, that was that still bothers me because for a fact, like, Patricia's the type of guy that's just gonna fucking send him to the end of the bench for that. Like, it's just sickening.
For what it's worth, my team in the listener league is looking mighty scary.
Dude, mine too.
Devonte Taylor, and he's my 3rd running back.
Dude, mine too. Like, if I can get like any type of points for my RB2 on any given week, my team is actually like fucking ridiculous. But
yeah, for what it's worth too, if you guys like can get Jonathan Taylor for cheap, like maybe I don't think some people understand how big this is. Marlon Mack being out means Jonathan Taylor is carries a game. Yeah,
he's a top 10 running back. Like, if you're looking at it in terms of overall value,
I offered a guy in my league Aaron Jones for him. And Aaron Jones had a good game. Aaron Jones had 22 opportunities.
I offered a guy in my league Joe Mixon for him.
Yeah, that I would do in a heartbeat. I think he slots in like in the RB like 7 to 10 range, like legitimately, like Jonathan Taylor. Like,
realistically, we saw what Josh Jacobs.
He's going to get targets too. That's the like wild thing about that is that maybe like Phillip Rivers doesn't give a shit who's on the field at running back. He'll throw to him no matter who they are.
Like, realistically speaking, for the rest of the season, like, you saw what Josh Jacobs was able to do week 1. I would not be shocked if we saw that for the rest of the year from Jonathan Taylor as well. Like, that's how significant the injury to Marlon Mack was. He's in that fringe top 6, top 7, top 8 minimum type range.
While we're on victory laps in week 1, I told you guys Josh Jacobs was going to get targets. Yeah. Like, no one wanted to listen to me when they were like, but they signed all these guys. It's like, yeah, but they're all bad.
Yeah, agreed. And if I'm going to take one victory lap, I mean, we can both take this.
Devonte Adams was a wide receiver 1.
I mean, for the record, we're not going to expect Aaron Rodgers to throw the ball. What did he throw the ball? Like 42 times last night?
They also had like the ball for like 43 minutes, I think. Like, or something of possession. Like, it was ridiculous how like the Packers had the ball the whole game.
Devonte Adams had over 30% of Aaron Rodgers' total targets. He had 17 targets.
Both of his touchdowns were inside the red zone too.
Yeah. You love to see that. Like, Devonte Adams is literally going to be unstoppable this year. And we said it in the rankings video, so glad if you guys ended up picking him up. But man, I was so excited because I have so much Devonte Adams everywhere. In the one league, in my main home league, I have fucking Devonte Adams and Christian McCaffrey on the same team. And they're going to finish number 1 at both their positions. So
the silver, nice. I just told you who my team was in that one league. I have Josh Jacobs, Devonte Adams, Lamar Jackson, and Mark Andrews. I might have a couple guys finish number 1 at their position.
For sure. For sure.
The thing on Devonte, or sorry, what was I going to say? Oh, the silver lining of the Bucs getting absolutely trounced by the Saints yesterday was the fact that Michael Thomas got absolutely clamped in coverage. I love seeing Michael Thomas struggle. I don't want to see him get injured because that's like I'm not a sick person. But
unfortunate.
From him not being able to get anything going, when I've seen this man torch my team for as long as he's been in the league, every time Michael Thomas played the Bucs, he would just, Vernon Hargreaves is on him, he's going to get destroyed because Vernon Hargreaves is 5'10" and Michael Thomas is 6'3". Like he's
Carlton Davis, man. Carlton Davis played a game.
He played a game and a half, too. And I'm hoping he can keep that up when we play Atlanta, too, because, again, Julio Jones, as long as he's been in the league, has torched my team.
Yeah. No, I still remember. Didn't he put up a 300 bomb against you guys in, 2017?
Yes, he made a guy retire. Yeah. Or cut, whatever. Like, I don't even remember what happened, but he never played football again.
Wow.
And with Vance McDonald, stiff-armed Chris Conte into retirement.
Oh, I remember that too. I mean, talking about some of the performances, like, man, what we saw from the Atlanta Falcons passing game was literally, like, I don't even know how to describe that, but that was.
I expect to see that every week.
Yeah, that's basically.
I said this to Tyler on our live stream. I was like, with the Atlanta passing game, I think there's going to be 3 viable options every week. Yeah. And the question is, who disappoints, really? Because I think, and I'm including Russell Gage in that.
Yeah.
Because I think
100%.
It's the 3 receivers and Hayden Hurst. And one of them's going to disappoint every week. And Hayden Hurst was the guy who disappointed this week, but it'll probably be Russell. Like, it'll probably be either Hayden Hurst or Russell Gage. It's probably less likely to be Ridley or Julio, but I mean, we'll see. I think those guys, that whole offense is just going to be like throwing the ball at will because I looked at the PFF grades from this week, and AJ Terrell was dead last among corners.
Yeah, no, he was awful. He got absolutely torched.
Yeah.
Torched. Man, speaking of Seattle.
Gurley was dead last among running backs, too, which I thought was hilarious.
Yeah. Speaking of Seattle, man, they let Russ cook. They let Russ cook. Oh, my God. I had Russell Wilson in one of my home leagues, and literally just watching that game, I'm like, dude.
I'm upset at the fact that I have no Russell Wilson anywhere.
Dude, I was. It's such a nice feeling because, like, I never usually had Russ. I'm like, you know what? Let me take Russ in this league. I ended up getting him like the 7th round after like keepers. So like basically the 4th round once you include the keepers, but or vice versa. Once you include the keepers, it'd be the 7th round, but I picked him in the 4th. Mm-hmm. You guys know what I mean. And just I'm like, you know what? It's a nice feeling. I have the 2nd best overall quarterback in the NFL. Watched him Sunday, and I'm like, dude, if he's gonna be throwing the ball 35 times in most of the games this year, there's no way he finishes past like the quarterback 2. Like, there's no way.
Pretty much, man. Like Russ is too good that if they give him volume, he's just going to be incredible.
Like he can legitimately average like 26, 27 plus points per game if they let him throw the amount that they actually did. And he still had like 30 rushing yards. He had like one big 28-yard scramble. Like if you're getting that type of passing volume from him with the addition of the rushing ability that he has, because he's freaking Russell Wilson, one of the most elusive quarterbacks in the game, like he's going to be unstoppable.
Yep.
But yeah, no, it was just fun watching him play.
I'm putting a link in the Discord, so I'm distracted.
Hey, go for it. Oh, God. Mike McCarthy just said that he thought Jalen Smith played well. Jalen Smith literally could not move laterally to save his life.
Yeah.
It was bad.
Dude. The silver lining, I really wish they would have put Carolina against us week 1 because I think we would have just killed them, and that would have been a nice confidence boost. And It's funny because this is what happens with the Tampa Bay Bucks is because we've been such a bad franchise for like most of my life. The sky is falling right now because we lost. Like everyone's like, "Oh my god!" Like Donovan Smith needs. Like Donovan Smith had a horrible game, so like I kind of understand them. But
I heard, didn't he get beat up by like Trey Hendrickson?
Yes, it wasn't even Cam Jordan. Like Tristan Wirfs, for what it's worth, like actually kind of did well against Cam Jordan. So like that's good news for him. But Donovan Smith got killed. Like every play in and play out. Cam Jordan knows how to beat Donovan Smith. He probably told the other guys how to do it. So, but the sky is falling in Tampa right now. Everyone's like, "Oh my god!" Like I can't believe we're like
with Dallas.
I'm like, chill out, guys. We played the best team in the league, in my opinion.
Oh, no, I fully agree. They're definitely at the minimum a top 3 team because I mean, if you put
Houston and then on top of that, they also had like no changes.
Yeah, no, the Saints
are using the same team for like 3 years.
Yeah, for sure. The fact that they're able to re-sign everybody is insane. And Jared says Van Der Esch
that hurts.
Man, 6 to 8 weeks with that collarbone. Already been dealing with neck injuries. Now he has to deal with a collarbone injury. Same kind of area. Like that. Man, if he ends up like fucking Sean Lee, it's gonna make me so sad. Because I mean, Sean Lee,
after his rookie year, he was looking like the steal of that draft where you guys got him, and with the injuries that he's like been through since then, it's not been looking good. Him and Derwin James actually, because they looked like the 2 best players from that draft class their rookie years.
Yeah, like for what it's worth. Freaking Leighton Van Der Esch, after his rookie season, arguably was a top 3 or 4 linebacker in the NFL. And now that he hasn't been able to play, I mean, like, it just makes me so sad because when you actually compare, like, people want to compare him and Jalen Smith. It's not a comparison because what Jalen Smith can do in the run game, Leighton Van Der Esch can do. But what Leighton Van Der Esch can do in terms of pass coverage, Jalen Smith can't hold a candle. Jalen Smith is
for anyone who played Madden that year that he was in his rookie season. That team of the year, Leighton Van Der Esch, was disgusting in that game. Like it was so good.
Didn't he have the Ghost of the Future card?
No. It was a team of the year card. He like it was it had 99 pursuit and like literally could just like tackle ever. Like it was so good. Like the card was disgusting. When it first came out, I was like, holy crap, this Van Der Esch card is killing me. Like, because I played against it like one game, I was like, oh my god, I can't throw over the middle.
Yeah, no, and he's like 6'4". He can move laterally.
Yeah, that's why he's such a good card. It's because like when you're a user card, like if you're big, like we're off the rails right now. You guys got to send us some questions. We're just talking out our asses.
But yeah, talking about tackling, man. The main thing that I saw about that Cowboys defense yesterday, I mean, obviously the IDL play, the interior defensive line play was absolutely terrible. The linebackers could not move laterally to save their lives, couldn't cover to save their lives. But man, Darian Thompson's tackling at safety was awful. Awful. He had a chance to seriously rack up around 20 tackles that game. I don't actually have the chart on me, but I counted he missed at least 5-6 tackles alone in that game. And like one of them was right on the goal line. You had Malcolm Brown squared up on the goal line, and Malcolm Brown just struck them.
Speaking of, why does Malcolm Brown like look by far the best running back on that team?
I know, dude.
Like, is it just week 1 Malcolm Brown because he did this last year too? Like, is he just better than like everyone in week 1? Because Cam Akers like kind of looked like how I expected Cam Akers to look his rookie year. But I mean, I still think he's gonna eventually take over that backfield. It might take a bit longer than we thought though, because Malcolm Brown did look good.
The problem with Cam Akers from watching that game is he didn't have any patience whatsoever. He didn't
in college either. So
yeah, he didn't let the blocks develop in front of him. I will say I think PFF charted him as breaking 6 tackles in that game.
Yeah,
Josh Jacobs.
That's what he did at Florida State. He didn't have any patience. He just like make people miss and break tackles. So that's all he could do.
Josh Jacobs, for the record, forced 13 missed tackles.
Josh Jacobs is gonna break PFF. He's gonna break PFF, man. Like he's already like their highest like graded like player in their like career. Like they love Josh Jacobs PFF. Like they love Josh Jacobs more than they like run stuffing nose tackles. Have you ever noticed that about PFF? Yeah. Their highest player grades are always like run stuffing nose tackles.
Yeah,
like Damon Harrison has like a 95 career grade. I swear to God.
That's something Dallas could use. I'll tell you that because our nose tackles, our interior defensive linemen got moved like 5 yards off the snap basically every run play. That's why Malcolm Brown absolutely dominated. I'm just going to quickly acknowledge Jared. He says, my friend's a huge Cowboys fan. Same thing about Lee. Yeah, the Dallas linebacker curse, man. It's sickening because in reality, when Van Der Esch is not on the field, our defense just becomes exponentially worse. I mean, Jalen Smith cannot move in space laterally. That's the biggest bugaboo about him. Like, if you have him going downhill attacking the ball, he's fine in that regard. But as soon as you have him, he has to adjust to an outside zone. He has to adjust the passes across the middle, adjust the crossers. He is left to dead because he can't move laterally. His knee, I don't know if that's still an issue. I believe it is the way I've been watching him play, but his knee is definitely concerning me because it's definitely inhibiting his ability to move laterally, as I mentioned. How many times can I say laterally? In like
let me hit this next question because I'm really excited about this. If you guys aren't believers in Ronald Jones, you're going to be after this week because Carolina can't stop a nosebleed with a U-Haul full of gauze on the ground. Like, Ronald Jones is going to kill them on the ground this week. And for what it's worth, I have this tweet pulled up from Ian Hartz. He's like one of my favorite Twitter follows. If you guys don't follow Ian Hartz on Twitter, he works for PFF. He tweets out like really valuable stuff all the time. He basically said RBs with the highest snap rates in the inside the 10-yard line from week 1. 100% of the snaps. David Johnson, Christian McCaffrey, James Robinson, Boston Scott, Zeke, CEH, Ronald Jones, and Josh Adams. LOL Jets is what it actually says in the tweet. And then he said honorable mention, Zach Moss, 82% of the snaps inside the 10-yard line. Peyton Barber at 77%. That's a big yikes. Dalvin Cook, 75%. Malcolm Brown, 75%. Josh Jacobs, 75%. Josh Kelly, 71%. Gross.
Yeah, I'm going to get into
Jerick
that.
McKinnon, 71% too.
I will tell you, though, man, Josh Kelly, Jerick McKinnon are huge pickups for this week in terms of waivers. You guys are going to see the show tomorrow. But for the record, Justin Jackson operated as the second complimentary back to Austin Eckler in the first half. Justin Jackson got hurt in the first half.
Yeah, Josh Kelly is going to be a good pickup. And
Josh Kelly's second half had 12 touches, 60 yards, and basically all of the goal line work.
Yeah, he looked better than I thought he would look too, because I never thought he was that good.
Me neither. I just thought he would be another Jamal Williams type, but he actually showed some explosiveness when he actually entered the open field. He could actually make people miss. Like, Jamal Williams is just a bowling ball. He gets a little bit of space. He can run over something maybe. Yeah. But Josh Kelly actually had a little wiggle to him. So, I mean.
Yeah. We'll see what happens on your question too, I don't think you can start Antonio Gibson until we see, because he ran, I saw another tweet that was like, J.D. McKissick ran 18 routes and Gibson ran 8. And Barber also got all the goal line, basically all the goal line work, and he got the majority of the carries. So I'm waiting to start Antonio Gibson. Ronald Jones, you can continue to start him because even as Leonard Fournette comes along into the offense, I still think it's Ronald Jones' job to lose. Until he loses it, I don't think Leonard Fournette's taking over. Agreed.
And by the way, Sleeper just said that George Kittle has a knee sprain, and Kyle Shannon's going to see how he is on Wednesday before knowing his status.
Dude, the Niners are getting killed by injuries right now.
I have Kittle in one of my main home leagues, so that feels bad. Anyways, John says trade Mixon for Jonathan Taylor. Actually, I was just talking about this probably, 20 minutes ago?
I would do it because Jonathan Taylor in one game has gotten more receiving work than we've seen from Joe Mixon in 4 years. Yeah. So
100% of the 10 zone, you can go ahead and add Derrick Henry and Saquon after.
Probably. Yeah.
Oh, hopefully Saquon has a great night. I mean,
hopefully we can add Melvin Gordon to that list too, because I feel like if anyone drafted Melvin Gordon based on my takes earlier on, actually, I don't know, man. I think I played Lindsey in a DFS lineup for this Monday night slate because I think Lindsey is going to have a game.
Agreed. Hopefully, I'd play against Melvin Gordon in the one league as well. So Mike says, I have Derrick Henry and Deontay Johnson playing tonight. I'm down by 35. Play for a miracle, or can they pull it off?
Derrick Henry might be able to do that for you a lot.
I was just supposed to say, let's just hope Henry can do that on his own, because I do play against Johnson. So we'll take a nugget from Deontay Johnson. Derrick Henry could score 50 for all I care.
Yeah, me too. I don't play against Derrick Henry anymore. So I think that's 35 points. That's about, if you said what's the over under for those two guys, because I expect Deontay Johnson has the best matchup on the field for the Steelers offense, so I expect him to actually have a good game. And then for Derrick Henry, I mean, he's going to get enough volume that it doesn't even matter who his matchup is.
Did you see Mike Vrabel was actually wearing a mask that literally said, "Please feed Derrick Henry"?
Really?
When your head coach, he's wearing a COVID mask, and I'm like, when your head coach is wearing a mask like that, you know what the game plan of the offense is going to be.
Did I trade Carson for Mixon? I would 100% take Joe Mixon over Chris Carson. Chris Carson only had 6 carries, and maybe it was because they were # let Russ cook, but Carlos Hyde had more carries than Chris Carson.
Chris Carson, I believe, I saw a stat today. It was either 48 or he only played 48 or 44% of the total snaps.
Yeah, and which was weird too, because he had 6 receptions, 2 receiving touchdowns. What the heck is going on?
He was great, but like if you actually look at the snap share, I mean, it was split pretty evenly amongst him, Hyde, and who's the other back? They have 3 backs.
I don't even know.
There's another back that they had there, but he actually got some work as well.
Was it not Dallas?
Let me check. No, it was
Homer or something.
Homer. That's it.
Yeah,
Homer. I think Homer got like 25%. Hyde got like 51, and like Carson got like 44, something dumb like that. But yeah, it was pretty insane to look at. I was like, wait, what? Like every time I watched like Red Zone, it seemed like Carson was on
the
the
looked good though. Chris Carson, I'm surprised they didn't use him more. He looked really good.
He looked so explosive. I mean, the hit didn't look like it was affecting him. That was a good sign. But
the receiving touchdowns, you love to see it for Russell Wilson owners. Like I just want to see Russell Wilson have like a monster season.
Oh, dude.
Yeah. If Russell Wilson, if they let Russ cook, the Seahawks will win.
QB1. Yeah, no, easily.
And the Seahawks will win 13 games easily because I don't know if you watched a lot of that game. Man, Jamal Adams looked like a man possessed in that game. Like,
oh my God. I was watching that game live. I saw a couple times like Gurley had like a little crease to like go up the field, and Jamal Adams was coming off the edge.
He literally shot the gap on every single play that they had.
And it just makes man, I'm just looking back at it, looking at the Cowboys safety play week 1 and looking at what Jamal Adams did for the Seahawks week 1. I'm like, oh my God. In reality, we're having Darian Thompson missing like.
Hey, I was thinking about it too, man. My defensive coordinator drafted him, and the weakest part of our defense is our strong safety, Jordan Whitehead. But based on what I saw at Winfield his first game, I was like, holy crap, man! He has like I go back to the PFF grades. He had like the 7th highest grade for safeties. Winfield.
Yeah. I got to see how Diggs graded because you have the PFF tool. You're still gonna have to share that with me, but
Quandre,
Trevon.
Oh, Trevon Diggs.
Okay. Trevon Diggs. He got beat 2 times in that game. Albeit, like those 2 plays ended up going for a decent amount of yards. But those 2 plays were literally like nothing else he could have done on defense. Perfect coverage, blanket coverage, perfect throw, perfect catch on the other side. Other than that, he was all over the field. He was blanketing everybody he played.
Awuzie ranked top 12, but I'm looking for
that interception. Yeah. Diggs was good, man. They might nag him because of those 2 plays, but I mean, other than that, he was fantastic.
He had a 58.2, 43 out of corners.
It's not bad, but yeah, they probably
SMB top 6 among corners. He had a great game.
SMB?
Yeah.
How was Carlton Davis?
Carlton Davis had like a bad grade for some reason. He had a bad penalty, which cost them an interception. He knocked a pass down, but it like went up in the air and Bunting picked it off, and then it got called back because Carlton had like illegal contact or something. But yeah, I mean, we'll see.
Speaking of a little illegal contact or pass interference, man.
That was bad. Everyone knows that was a bad call.
All right, we don't have to get into that, but literally,
everyone knows that was a bad call.
Apparently, everybody except for Jalen Ramsey because he's still a bird.
Yeah, he had to sell that.
Yeah, fair. But anyways, hopefully nothing like that happens in the Monday night game.
Throw some of your guys' victories in the chats too. We want to know like who went off for you, who had Adams, who had Jacobs, like whoever carried you to wins. I honestly like all my teams like that I had like win. They were all just like a collaborative effort because I only had except for that one league because I have Adams and Jacobs in that. But like every other league, I just had like a bunch of guys that scored 15, 20 points.
Yeah, that's because there's the one league I lost and literally like everybody on my bench had like 12 plus points. I'm like, what the fuck? Like just bad management.
Yeah. One thing I'm very curious to see how it shakes out is the Ravens backfield because J.K. Dobbins looked super good and Mark Ingram did not.
Yeah, I know. Oh my God, that was sick too. I drafted Ingram in the 6th round of one of my leagues, and I was just watching that. I'm like, what the heck is going on? I didn't start him, but like that was annoying to watch. Dude, in our best balls, by the way, we're literally like first in most of them, eh?
Sure, yeah. I picked a lot of JT in our best balls.
Yeah, same.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, we have a lot of Julio, a lot of Goddard, surprisingly.
Ridley and Zeke carried me. How did Zeke do anyway? Like I know from what I saw of the game, he looked very good. Yeah. Ridley snapped.
Zeke had 27 points for PPR. 25.5 for half. Yeah, because I played him in both of my money leagues. The half PPR and the full PPR. That's how I know the stats like that.
Yeah, I also don't own Zeke anywhere, which pisses me off.
He's so good, man. Like
I don't own. Well. You do, Danny. You do kind of look like Snacks, don't you?
Dunny.
You were using his picture. Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, this whole time it happened like a few months ago because I was in the BDG chat and I just had the Snacks like thing and he just kept referring me to Snacks and I just kind of went with the flow. But last minute pivot, Dallas Goddard, yeah, he snapped. I actually like last second because I had Herndon and Jasicki in my one home league. I actually considered I was about to pick up Goddard and just start him because I'm like, what the Redskins? What are they going to do? And yeah, now I'm kind of screwed because this week Herndon and Jasicki both have bad matchups. Jasicki plays the Bills and Herndon plays the 49ers. So now I'm screwed.
What are you guys excited for tonight, too? I know what I'm excited for.
AJ Brown.
I want to see Johnny Smith go off. Like, I just want to see it happen. Not because I need him to. Well, because I need him to in one of my leagues. But also because I just want to see if I was right about Johnny Smith. That's the cool thing about, like, giving advice and doing research on players and stuff is that we get to see what things we screwed up, what things we got wrong, what things we did well. I think like it's kind of been a mixed bag so far. So far, it's not looking too hot on the David Johnson take based on what I saw on Thursday night.
Oh man,
very good on my Josh Jacobs take. Yeah, but like John, and another one is Jerry Jeudy because Sutton's out. I want to see how good Jerry Jeudy does.
Yeah, I'm trying to think like what my best take was. Looking at the my guys alone, DeAndre Swift kind of woof right now. Clyde Edwards-Helaire looked fantastic, but again, he was a first round pick. It's kind of what you expected.
Yeah.
Other than that, like, yeah.
I want to see AJ Brown go off too because that's another guy that I stand for this offseason.
And another guy that I actually want to see get some work. I believe what game would it be? Oh, I want to see how Deontay Johnson's used, especially like because he's going to be going against the Giants secondary, right? I want to see also how they're going to employ James Bradbury, Logan Ryan, how they kind of work that out on defense. But
yeah, this I'm gonna have to do a big deep dive into how corners were used this week before the start sit show on Thursday because PFF kind of went off the cuff by going like, oh, this is who we project the shadow. Like it's obvious for certain matchups. Like everyone knew Jalen Ramsey was shadowing Amari Cooper, but like with Darius Cooper, like they didn't know how he was going to be used and all that stuff. Like it's going to be good to know now that we actually know like, oh, if James Bradbury is going to be deployed as a shadow corner and all this stuff because he was in Carolina.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't understand how that's going to happen though because Logan Ryan like can't play on the outside. He can like basically only play in the slot. So, like, how are they going to use that? But anyways, would you trade Chris Carson for Mike Evans? A 1 point PPR. I got Drake and Dalvin Cook. Only good wide receiver I got is Kenny G. That one's kind of a toss-up for me. I kind of want to hear more. I kind of want to hear more about the Evans injury, man. Because
I think Evans is okay, man. I think he's okay. I like the fact that he played and he was like,
well, like you could see how did he look?
Like he had a bad game, but he would have had a bad game if he was healthy.
Yeah. I probably see that's kind of a wash. So like when it's usually a wash, I kind of just keep the side that I have. So
that makes sense. And Evans is going to snap this week if he's healthy and like he's good to go. Like against Carolina with no James Bradbury now, he's going to go off.
Yeah, for sure. Mixon disappointed me, myself as well, my friend. I mean, that was a pretty pathetic game to say the least. I was screaming on the streets after stealing Mixon at 2-11 and ends up putting up 5 points in a PPR. Like that's just not good enough. Not good enough. But
You know what's a low key possibility tonight? I just want to point this out. What if Drew Lock just goes ham?
He could.
I don't think it's gonna happen because I don't think he's that good. But like, what if he just the only reason I thought of this is because the ESPN crew is like that I'm watching right now. They just all picked the Titans to win. I'm like, okay, so what are the chances that the Broncos just kill them?
Dude, Fant, for all we know, could just end up having like a 150-yard 2-touchdown game.
I still think the Fant breakout's a year away. I still think it's next year. I don't know why. I just like for some reason I just think that's how it's gonna work.
Speaking of tight end breakouts, my boy Blake out.
Yeah, big yikes.
That's sad.
My boy came through though.
I will say for one thing, if you guys ended up getting Lamb late in your best balls, especially, like that dude's gonna have 1,000 yards this year. I'm telling you. All three of those wide receivers without Jarwin on the field are going to eat.
Crocker man needs me and you both, dude. Like I have Johnny in every redraft league I'm in. I have Johnny.
Yeah, agreed. So we'll get back to Mavs Man 7. He says, thoughts on starting Kenny Galladay week 2 if he's good to go. Scary Terry, Will Fuller on my bench. I'd probably err on the side of caution. I got to check the matchups. I believe. Who does Detroit play again? Detroit plays
next
Chicago.
week.
No, they played Chicago this week. Giants. Yeah. Giants. Wait, no, Chicago plays the Giants because
hold on, I'll check.
I could check it right now because I was actually looking at the waiver show. Oh yeah, stay tuned for the waiver show tomorrow.
Yeah, they play the Packers.
I would probably then again, I mean Thielen kind of ate, but if Kenny Galladay's kind of banked up, I don't know. I would probably just.
I'm interested to know if they shadowed Alexander on Thielen.
Well, I mean, even if they did, I mean Thielen had what 120 yards.
I know. I just want to know if that's how they're going to use Alexander.
That's fair. If that's the case, I'll probably just err on the side of caution and go with Scary Terry and Will Fuller. But keep the updates throughout the week on how Kenny Galladay's doing because I believe it was the hamstring that flared up on him, right?
Yeah. It was the hammy.
Whenever I hear hammy, I always pause and always take that super careful because as soon as those players return early from a hamstring injury, they're prone to so many other injuries. So if I'm in that decision at this current juncture at Monday night right now, I would go with Terry and Fuller. So Dunny says, I'm down 1 point. I'm going against Johnson. I have Judy left to play. That's going to be
close, man. I think Johnson's going to have a good game. So you're going to need Judy to play well.
Yeah. I think you clutch it out because of the presence of Sutton not being there, but that's going to
definitely helps. Yeah. Sutton, if Sutton was there, it hurts him a little bit, but.
Who should I get on waivers between Hines, Robinson, Chenault? I would rank those in order: Hines, Chenault, Robinson. Personally, assuming it's half full PPR there.
Am I tripping out? Who's Robinson? James Robinson or
James
DeMar? Yeah, James Robinson.
Yeah, I would go Hines, Chenault, and Robinson in that order. Talking about Hines, man, with Marlon Mack out, he could fully see.
I don't think this Hines thing is going to be it's going to be a fad thing. I think it's going to be JT horse. I still think it's going to be JT's backfield.
But even if he plays 65, 70% of the snaps,
I don't think Hines is getting 8 targets a week or whatever.
6 or 7. I definitely.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, we saw what Philip Rivers was able to do with 2 backs in LA.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, he's got the quarterback to definitely feed him receptions. I think it's going to be JT's backfield.
In my home league, I'm considering spending 50% of my fab on Hines. I think he's going to be really good.
Yeah.
So I would rank it personally: Hines, Chenault, and Robinson. And judging by the way you're kind of on Hines, I'm assuming you do go Chenault, Hines, Robinson, right?
No, I'd probably pick James Robinson up over Chenault.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. He played okay. He's the first. You see, he's the first undrafted free agent running back to start in 30 years.
So that's crazy. Talking about that quickly. Apparently, Devonte Freeman is lurking around a few teams. I wouldn't be shocked if the Jags were one of those teams.
I wouldn't be shocked if the Jets signed him with Bell.
That would make sense. That would make a ton of sense. By the way, if he does sign with the Jets, don't ask me if you should start him in your lineups because the answer is going to be no.
Yeah.
There you go. All right.
Yeah, line looked bad. They have I'm pretty sure all 5 of their starters were not on the team last year.
Yeah. So Christian says, I have Hayden Hurst as my only tight end. Should I be worried? I do think that was just kind of a learning, not a learning.
I wouldn't be worried. I'd maybe if you want to pick someone up off the waiver wire, maybe I don't know who would be out there that you could use. Maybe that one of the Iowa guys on the waiver wire, like Fant or Hawkinson, or
even Herndon still saw work. I mean, he still had 6 receptions, 50 yards.
I'm not worried for Herndon at all. That was the hardest matchup.
Yeah, if you can get a guy like Herndon even on waivers, I wouldn't be opposed to that if you want to pair those two. But I'm not necessarily worried with Hurst again.
Spence, he says it's full PPR. Talking about Hines, Hines definitely sees a bump in full PPR for sure. Yeah,
I really like Hines. I think he can be a top 25 running back, even with JT there because of the passing game usage.
Yeah.
Crocomon says I have Jonnu in 6 of 8, but I only need him to start. Need him to start in 4 of them. Okay, I do think Jonnu is going to have a game. So let's hope because we have a lot riding on that, but. C. Spence says Robinson getting all the carries and Jack's pretty exciting. What do you guys think moving forward?
It's exciting that he's a starting running back, but he's probably going to. James Robinson's always going to be every week. Who should I start? James Robinson or this? You're never going to be like, he's the locked and loaded starter. I don't think. I think he's always going to be a fringe guy. If he gets into the end zone, he's going to be fine, and if he doesn't, he's going to disappoint you. I think that's how it's going to work. And I mean, we saw Leonard Fournette only had 3 touchdowns last year, so.
Agreed.
I think Robinson's okay, I guess. He's probably going to be like an RB like 35 every week for me in like my weekly rankings, but I'm not going to be excited about starting him.
So Zach says Mike Thomas disappointed me. Yeah, unfortunate. Hopefully the high ankle sprain isn't nothing too much of a concern for much longer. And Mike says, worried about Chark? No, I'm not. I mean, this is a game where Minshew threw for 170 total yards. He was ultra efficient, 19 for 20, 3 touchdowns. They just simply didn't need to throw the ball all across the field. But I don't expect them to be in as positive game script as they were against the Colts for the rest of the season. So, I mean, 173 yards. I honestly wouldn't be shocked if this is Minshew's absolute floor for the rest of the year. So if that's the case, I mean, Chark is by far.
Yeah, they didn't throw the ball a lot. That game was almost, like the pace of that game was so slow. I saw like the pace. Someone tweeted out the pace stats or whatever, and it was like significantly slower than every other game. Yeah, no, it was crazy to watch. But it seemed like everybody on the Colts did like wonders. Like everybody put up a stat line, and like nobody on the Jaguars realistically like put up a huge stat line. Again, like if you're starting Minshew in a quarterback position, like he was the only one that actually put up like a good stat line, you know. Yeah, I'm actually looking. Who just brought up Logan Thomas? I like Logan Thomas. Rocketman brought up Logan Thomas. I'm trying to find what his snap count was. He had 8 targets. I know. I want to know how many, like, how often he was on the field, though. For the record, I'm going to call that a little win on my part because I was talking about Logan Thomas probably around March. Like, I basically took him in, like, the 28th round of most of my dynasty drafts. So, if a little shout out there, but yeah, Logan Thomas did look good in that game. I mean, the Redskins as a whole fucking look really good. Bengals Mike Thomas had as many yards as the real Mike Thomas. Oh God, isn't Bengals Mike Thomas a DB? No, he's the one that got drafted by the Rams. Oh, you remember that? The fake Mike Thomas. I really hope so, Chris. Yeah, no, same. I hope so as well. I hope Judy just goes off because I'm gonna look like a genius if he does. I don't want Deontay Johnson to touch anything close to a bunch of points because I play against him. So, fingers crossed. Yeah, Mike is becoming a wide receiver 3. I like Cam. What a great game, dude. You'll check out the waiver show again tomorrow. Like we'll tell you about how much fab to put on him. Me and Mikey are gonna head that. We're actually gonna record it at the halftime of one of these Monday night games. I forget which one, but yeah, Paris Campbell looked really good. He outperformed T.Y. Hilton as much as we like Mike Pittman. I mean, the guy there was Paris Campbell. I mean, 6 catches, 71 yards. I think he had 9 targets in that game. Like he looked really good out there on that field. Crocomon says I actually drafted Logan Thomas in 2 deep leagues and a ton of best ball. Yeah, that was the plan. Yeah, best ball is where I got Logan Thomas. I never drafted him anywhere else. Dude, he looked good, man. I will say, like he always had the athleticism. I still remember when he was a quarterback prospect. This guy's like built like a truck. He's 6'7", 260 pounds, or something like that. Like he's a freak. Virginia Tech? Yeah, he was a quarter. Yeah. He was like before his like final season, he was projected as like a top 2 round quarterback prospect, and then like he had a bad season, fell off. Like everything happened at that regard. He got drafted by the Cardinals to actually play quarterback. Oh, really? Yeah. So he's basically like Ryan Tannehill, except he actually became a tight end. Yeah. I know, it's pretty funny. But yeah, Logan Thomas has always been a freak athlete. I think he ran like a 4.6 as well at that size. Yeah, that's pretty good. Let me just double check this. What year he actually came out? Yeah. 2013, 2014 draft. The Clowney draft. I'm trying to pay the mortgage with this bet that I made tonight. I parlayed the Steelers -6.5, I believe. Yeah. Oh, by the way, with the under. Smart. Of 44.5, I think, or 45.5 or something. Yeah, I think that's gonna be like a 2017 type game. But I think they're just gonna kill him. Really? I think the under is gonna hit because the Giants don't score. That's fair. It's like 27-3 or something like that. Give me a couple Saquon scores, maybe. No Saquon scores. Talking about that, I just come out and torch them just because we talked all off season about how bad the Giants' schedule is to start, and they just freaking blast the Steelers defense. I would laugh. I would. By the way, what was I gonna say? Oh, talking about betting, the Thrive Fantasy. We were this close to 65, but we still made a profit, doubled the bet, won $10 on a $5 bet. Not too bad. And the little pick'em that I did at the end of the episode went 3-1 on the week. Panthers couldn't cover, but other than that, Seahawks covered, Bills covered, and the Cardinals all covered. So you picked the Panthers to win that game?
I picked the Panthers to cover 2.5.
What did they lose? Didn't they lose by 3?
4.
4. Okay.
Yeah. Close, but
I would have easily taken the Raiders in that. I thought the Raiders were going to kill them.
I thought the Panthers were going to win outright. Outright
Really?
at home? Yeah. I thought the Panthers' offense was going to be too much, which was
it actually was the case. And Robbie Anderson, for what it's worth, like is making all saying Teddy Bridgewater is a check down king.
Robbie Anderson is going to be one of the top waiver wire ads this week. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Yeah.
100%. Like we're going to cover it
the way that everyone wants Curtis Samuel to be used.
Yeah. Yeah, no, man, like Robbie Anderson looked fantastic. If you're
going considering I own DJ Moore like everywhere.
Yeah, I know. That's unfortunate. By the way, Deebo Samuel had a setback that sent him to the IR, and he was real sore after running on one day, and it got worse.
Like, this is the story of why he's on the IR now, or this just happened?
So, apparently the reason why he got put on the IR is because he had a setback when he returned to practice, and like he just kept getting worse.
Yeah.
That's fucked. By the way, what wide receiver in New York do you think emerges as the lead? That one's going to be Slayton today.
It's like I'll say Slayton just because he's the unknown factor. Like
Tate's out. Tate's not playing.
Okay. I mean, like I think he means like just over the course.
Overall, I think Slayton's got the most like type of upside because of the role he's going to play on that offense. He's going to get the deep attempts.
Yeah, it's definitely Slayton. If we're going to pick one, it's Slayton. But I honestly think it's going to be no one. I think it's going to be Slayton one week and
Saquon.
Ingram the next week and Shepard the next week. And like, I think it's just going to be kind of like a weapons by committee, aside from Saquon being the only consistent guy there. Like, I don't think any of them are going to be consistent week over week.
Yeah, I agree there. Well, the game is about to start in 3 minutes. So,
let's close this out. If you guys got any more questions, drop them in. We'll sign off of here about 7:10. So let us know. I'm kind of mad that the Titans and Broncos game isn't the first game. We're on East Coast time. If you guys are not East Coast, it's like a 10 o'clock game for us. So
yeah,
I suck.
Wish me luck. I still have to do the accounting quiz, and then I have to record waiver show tonight. So
yeah.
Gotta check my calendar, see if I have any homework.
Yeah. Oh man, dude, literally only 2 of my classes are actually posted on the schedule, and like the other 3 are just DE or whatever, like online learning. So like I didn't check all week, and then I checked on the week, and I'm like, oh fuck, I have shit to do. But
yes, Mike Kelly from the Chargers definitely worth a pick. I wouldn't be pulling your fab on him, but he's worth like a $5 bid or whatever.
I would spend more on him. I'd spend at least 20 on him.
20?
Yes, dude.
I wouldn't.
I'd
spend like $5 to $15 on him.
With Justin Jackson out, think of the amount of vacated touches that there are in that Chargers backfield. Like Austin Eckler is going to get his 20 plus a game. We know that. There's still space for Josh Kelly to realistically get 12 to like 16 touches per game, and he's going to have a goal line.
Offense though, like it's not a great offense.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's still.
The reason I say that is because I think it takes I think it takes an injury for Josh Kelly to be the guy that you just start without thinking about it.
I still think that like even though he may not be the guy because of Eckler,
I don't think that kind of production, like a flex play at best with Kelly, is worth $20. I think that's the type of guy that you pick up $5 to $8 and you can play on a bye week, or if Eckler misses a game here and there, then he's like a smash play that week or whatever.
I think it can supplement you some RB3 production, to be honest.
But like, what's that? Like, you want to start RB3s in your RB slots? Like, I don't.
I mean, like, it depends how your roster.
Probably in rough shape if you're starting at RB3.
I don't know. I think he's gonna have some value. Like, I would spend a decent amount on him, $15-20. I mean, Hines. Like, I would spend.
I'll max out at like $8 on Kelly, just because I think it takes an Eckler injury for him to be like a every week starter.
For the record, before week 1 in a bunch of my leagues, I ended up getting him for $1. So bargain shopping.
I mean, I didn't believe in him, so I'm cool.
I didn't either. But when I heard that Justin Jackson was banged up, because I had Justin Jackson like most places, when I heard he was banged up, I'm like, dude, if he's banged up and Josh Kelly's going to be in the role right away, like he ended up playing, but I was under the assumption he wouldn't even play. I'm like, if he's getting that role, I actually looked at it. I mean, 204 touches for Melvin Gordon. Obviously, you're going to supplement a decent amount of that to Austin Eckler, because I do think he's going to get a ton of work for the rest of the season. We saw he was used as a grinder. Out of all things that they could have used Austin Eckler to do, they used him as a grinder. Like, he had 19 carries, 1 target. Like, that made no sense. But
Jared, you got the Steelers line at 39.5. It was 44.5 when I got it.
Wow.
It must have moved a lot.
Wow. Damn. So maybe it lands in between that little range for you guys, but
yeah, I went up here, so
the game's actually starting now. So
yeah, so let's head off of here. Thanks everyone for joining us on this one. We kind of we had really nothing really to talk about aside from our own fantasy teams and the fact that our franchise has disappointed us.
Yeah.
So make sure you guys, if you're not already subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon too, so that you know when we're going live, because we're going to go live before primetime games and on Sundays as well. And a nice little catch there by Sterling Shepard. Nice. Anyway,
the game,
guys, make sure you guys hit the thumbs up button on this video too. It helps us out a lot.
Game started officially yet?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. All right, I gotta head upstairs. Easy, boys.